Today, my fellow geologists, we are going to be putting down our geological hammers, casting off our geology hats and putting on our railway engineering hats. Evo, I hear you cry, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I want to have a go at creating a redstone railway track down my mineshaft. Now, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've not watched any redstone tutorials or anything like that. I just kind of want to give it a go, see how it turns out, and if we get really stuck, we'll do a little bit of Googling. So my vague plan is to have a little mini station on this side, and then basically the return coming up the other side and stopping here. Now, I don't obviously need powered rails or anything to go down the mine shaft because, well, gravity should do the job for me, hopefully. So I guess I need a couple of bits of track. I guess I want one powered bit here because I guess I want to be able to get on my mine shaft here and sort of have like a lever here or something. Pull the lever and it's just going to go whoosh and flying down the line all the way down to the bottom. On the return back up, on the way back up the mine shaft, we are going to be needing some redstone powered rails. But we'll deal that in the second half of the video. First things first, let's just get our start built. I need a way of somehow launching myself off here. That's what we need to try and figure out. Okay, so we're going to have to make ourselves a lever. And yes, I did have to look what the recipe was because I spent about 5 minutes going around trying to find what it was and couldn't figure it out. And we're also going to need to make some powered rails then, I guess, which actually I found out uses gold, which is going to make this a little bit more expensive than perhaps I thought. But we do have some gold reserves that we can tap into if it comes to it. So let's think about this. Let's just get some of these on my hotbar. So my general idea was we want like I guess normal track there and like powered rail there. Do we want it like that though? Oh, tough decisions, tough decisions. Yeah, because then we can... Do we need redstone next to this to power it? If I then put a lever... You see, how do you... You can't put redstone up a wall, can you? So I put that there. Maybe we don't need the redstone. Maybe I can just put the lever there. Oh, it does. That powers that rail. So if I then went, say, like... that... Oh, is that not going to light that block drop? God damn it. Ah! Because I need to do that then? Yeah, okay. So we just need to take out this little bit of wall. That'll do that. Right, let's go make a minecart. See if that actually works. See if I'm completely along the right lines or if I'm completely losing my mind. Okay, come on. Come on, little Mr. Minecart, work for me. So we place the cart there. We'd get in it. Oh! Ah! So can you move... Say if I got... Oh, Christ almighty. Say if we got rid of that powered bit completely. Oh, I can just push myself along. So maybe we don't actually need the powered bit for here. Let's get rid of it then. We'll save that for the bottom side. If we don't need the powered bit now, I can just push myself along. I'll put another rail there so it completes the run. And then we'll have like a chest here. I don't have a chest on me, but I can put a chest here and this is where we'll store a couple of mine carts. And then we can just zoom down. I think we've come up with a plan. And then on the return, you see, we'll have a similar style, can't we? We can just have a... just to set the basic layout. But some of these on the return, of course, are going to have to be powered, whereas these on the way down don't need to be powered because we're going to have gravity. Okay, let's get placing. It's kind of amazing how much mine track it really needs to come all the way down. I've been placing for ages and we're still not at the bottom, although the end is in sight, so we've just got to keep working our way down. Okay, so that takes us to the bottom here. Now, the problem is, how are we going to run this? Do we just run it to a complete stop? I guess we do, if we just run it to there, and then we just have a separate track out. I mean, we could do a loop, you see, but would that help me? You almost need a way of stopping, don't you? That's the problem. Otherwise, I guess, because we're going to have to activate like a lever to go back up the other side. I think we'll just run like this instead. See, then that's going to have to be like a powered track, isn't it? How often do you need a powered track? Can I do like 2 normal to 1 powered? Or is that not going to work like that? And how are we going to get power to each of these tracks? So, for example, if I find my switch, presumably that will activate that piece there, but it doesn't activate any of the rest. And the problem is going to be, how do you get redstone? I don't know where to put redstone, have I? I almost need my entire mine shaft to be 1 block wider. Let's just see how far we go with it on. If I push forwards... Oh, okay, so about 2 blocks is about right, look, because that gets me basically to this second piece here. Then I'll get power again. So 2 normal carts, 2 normal bits of mine track for every powered piece is what we need. We just need to find a way of activating it all. Been experimenting around a little bit. The only alternative I've been able to come up with is just to carve like a little path out of the bedrock and then essentially fill this in with redstone. So now look, if I activate my switch, because there's redstone touching the switch, it runs up and then it's activating my rail here. Oh, actually we're still missing a block there. That one needs to go 1 higher. Put the torch back up there. But actually that should now activate that one. So if we now throw a minecart down again, in theory we should go a bit higher. If I push into it, power on the first one, power on the second one, yeah, so we get up to the third one then basically. So if we continue our redstone torches, oh god, that's a long way. If we run redstone all the way, then in theory, we should be good. So much carving. We are luckily just going to miss our little bit of amethyst. Actually really quite close, but god, this calcite is extremely fragile. Efficiency 5 is a little bit too efficient on it. But yeah, we just managed to miss a little bit of amethyst. So I'm just continuing to carve out and then I'm going to stick all my redstone in. Right, okay, so we've now carved all the way up. So then basically we've just got to place redstone all the way down to provide a continuous power source from the lever at the bottom. So that basically whenever I activate that lever, it's going to activate all of the powered track all the way along the mineshaft run. Or at least that's kind of how I think it's going to work. Hopefully there's not like a distance limit to how far the electricity on this redstone actually runs or anything. Okay, neat. Looks like it's connected up, and at least from what I can see, it seems to have powered all the way along. So if I turn this off and turn that back on again, why hasn't this bit of track powered up? See, that bit of track has, but this one doesn't seem to have. Please say I'm not a block off and I have to be a block higher every time. They're not activating. No! Well, this is concerning, isn't it? I wonder if I have to be a block above with the redstone for it to activate. Then if we then redstoned like that, oh, it does. I think that's done it. So if I then go back down to my minecart and push, fly. Ah, so annoying. That means all my redstone is in the wrong place. It's all going to be 1 block out. Oh, I'm going to go and cry in a corner and then we'll sort it out. Oh, god damn it. After all my talking about how my lovely little amethyst was going to survive, it's not. It's going to have a little bit destroyed. No, the poor old amethyst. But it has to make way for the modern railway invention, unfortunately. I've just been basically slowly destroying and correcting my entire redstone path all the way along. So we've just now got to carve out the new path all the way down and recorrect all these torches that are now all in the way, and then we can replace all the redstone and have another go. Okay, so I managed to carve all my blocks out and I was just replacing the redstone. And you can see, kind of pleased with how it's gone. And then I got to here and I just noticed it seems to no longer be powered. But you can see this is almost like unpowered here. This is powered and then it runs up to this block then stops. So I wonder if there is a limit on how far that lever at the bottom can basically push the signal along the wire. So I'm not sure how we're going to solve that. I guess we could have another lever here. The problem being, I don't know if I turn it on whether it will stay permanently in that state. And then that's the easiest way of doing it. Or if there's another way of sort of, I don't know, almost like relaying the signal up the wire or something. I think I'm going to do a little bit of Googling to see why this has actually stopped here, because I'm not entirely sure what's going on. So I was doing a bit of reading around, and it seems you can get these redstone repeaters, which I've just got out and built, basically. Got 4 of them. But one thing that's just occurred to me, literally as I was just about to come back down, was I wonder if you could just use a redstone torch. I had to use redstone torches to build the repeaters, but I wonder if a redstone torch acts in the same way. Because I suppose a repeater has different signal options, so it's a little bit more complicated. But I just want permanent power on, I suppose, don't I? So if I, for example, where does it stop there? If I took out this extra block here and just put in another torch, yeah, you see, that's going to then power that the rest of the way along, isn't it? In many ways, I don't actually need the repeaters. I suppose the only downside is if I go down now and turn my lever off, then yeah, essentially it stays on. Although actually with the distance it's not going to power this final little rail, so technically I still only launch when I want to. I think we're just going to do that. Why mess around with complicated repeaters that I don't really understand? Well, we can just do it with a cheap torch. Okay, so that gives me now a source of power all the way up to the top. So we've only got so much iron left, only got 10 bars, and we've also been out of gold. So now we're going to head back down to the bottom and build as much as we can with our line. After that, we're going to have to go iron mining, although before that, I think realistically we're going to have to go and heal up our netherite pickaxe. This is actually almost broken, so we'll have to go back to our mob farm and do a little bit of work there. But then, we should be able to get back to doing a bit of iron mining and placing more track. Okay, that is me officially out of resources. I reckon we're about halfway. Could be worse, could be worse. Let's get down to the zombie farm then. I wonder if we can... Whee! We can get down this way. This is much more fun. I absolutely love this XP farm and having mending on the pickaxe. It just makes things so much easier. We can just get the pickaxe straight back up to full health. And there we go. So much easier, so much quicker. I might as well kill these last few zombies just to grab a little bit of extra free experience. So I'll die to my little netherite sword. And of course, because the netherite sword also has mending, iron bar, it means it also never deteriorates, so you can basically just keep it forever when doing the killing the zombies. Great. Okay, now we need to go and do some iron mining, basically. Woohoo, GC iron. Still making use of my fortune pickaxe since it's the I've not got any fortune yet on my netherite, which I really need to get sorted at some point because it would make the pickaxe so much better rather than having to just run this slightly old diamond one just because it's got fortune 2 on it. What does that put us at? 36 iron. I've got a little bit more to go. Let's keep doing some more mining and then we should be good. So with the extra iron we found, we've crafted a load more track. So now we can basically just continue placing our normal rails and our powered rails. Keep working our way up the line until hopefully we get to the top. Because we've actually got that much further to go. Okay, and that should get us right to the top. And it looks like it's powered all the way. So I think we might be ready for a ride. Should we do this? I almost want to join it at the bottom so that we can do it in one sort of loop. But the problem is going to be that it will send my minecart flying. Oh no, it won't because I've got the switch, haven't I? See, now down the back at the bottom, if I turn this switch off, it depowers this final rail here. Now look, if I join those two together, I'll come zipping down here through gravity, go whoa up here, but I don't think I'll get enough momentum to get up to this next powered rail. I think it will stop because the power's off. But if I wanted to continue all the way around, I don't need to get out of the minecart because I can just flick the switch and wham, off we'll go in one loop. If I was really clever, you could build even like a loop back around to the other side at the top as well, and you could do a similar sort of thing with a switch controlling it. You'd have to think about that. It's perhaps a little bit too complicated for a noob like me, but let's get to the top. Let's give this thing a go. Okay, here we go. Minecart down. We are in. Ready for the ride of our lives. Slowly move forwards. Here we go. Woohoo! Wow, you go quite fast. Now, will the switch work? Yes, it does, look. And it holds me from going back as well, so... Boop. Oh. Well, that didn't quite go according to plan. We went backwards. It's working. We're actually going up. Oh, this was much better than walking. This is 10 times better. Well, I'm honestly really quite pleased with how this has turned out. I suppose we could have had maybe 1 or 2 more power rails so it goes slightly faster, but it still goes up at a pretty decent pace. You can see it like lurch between each one. Ta-da! And there we go. And now I can just disembark, collect back up our minecart, and we are all good. I like it. I like how that works. I'm really quite pleased with that. One day you could, in theory, sort of like ramp this up and put it like as an overbridge so that it ends up back like here. And then you do the same thing where you have a power switch like here. Oh, we could do that, couldn't we? Can you see what I'm thinking? So if we ramped up, so it goes vertically, you know, around, like up and over the top of the mine shaft, and then back down, then you would, if you had this as a power rail, with a switch, then I think it would mean that the minecart stops. Let's have a go at this. It's going to require some thought. Let's think about... So if I, for example, did that. Now let me put this on here and get... Okay, that's not such a good idea. Now let's do that. If I push myself forwards, I should stop. Is that right? Yes. So if I had a switch here then now, let me get out. Let's go and build a switch quickly. Oh no, I can do one in my inventory, can't I? No, I can't. I don't have any cobblestone. Well, okay, it's not exactly that. Oh god, okay, we're going on a full loop again. Oh god damn it. It almost needs to like auto off. Is there a way to get that switch to auto turn off after I use it? Right, that was a slightly unnecessary journey. But the one thing I thought of something. I don't need a switch here. Let's get rid of that. Oops. This pickaxe is so bloody destructive. I don't actually need a switch there, do I? Because I'll auto stop every time. So all I need to do is I'll go forwards. We hit it, it auto stops. Then I can just manually push the cart forward. So it just acts as a stopping tool. And that's all we need it to actually do. So because I want this run to go down to the bottom and then for my cart to stop. But because I turned that switch on last time I was down there, it now won't turn off again. But I'm going so fast I basically can't hit the switch. So I need to find a way to get that to turn off. Okay, so we've done a bit of modification. And we've basically got a full loop now. So some things are working quite well. So when you come back up, it basically flings you around here. And it sends you up here and just a little loop outside the house. Okay, we could probably make this out of redstone rather than just using torches. Just round the back of the house, and then it flings you back down here. From down here, round the corner, and basically stop at the point. Now the one problem is you can't push forwards again without a lever. The redstone block stops you, so we have to have a lever. The problem I've got currently is that these levers are stuck on. So I'm just going to do a little bit of internet research now, see if I can find a way. Maybe these repeaters are going to be able to help somehow. That I want the lever, so I want to flick it, and I want it to stay on for a few seconds and then turn itself off again. Okay. Apparently, buttons are the way to go. So we've got it sorted now. So I didn't actually know you could make buttons, but essentially I now push the button. It really doesn't need to go through a delayed repeater. It was only because I was just learning about how these repeaters work. So it was kind of interesting to put one in the circuit and see that you could adjust the delay on the repeater so that when you push the button, it actually stays on slightly longer after the repeater. After the button goes off, the repeater still keeps running. So it was just interesting to have it in there, but you don't actually need that. Actually, don't need all of this back circuit. We can get rid of all of it. But I think we're ready. We've got a button down the bottom, and I think we are sorted. The only thing of the one at the bottom is you do seem to have to time your pressing of the button a bit carefully, otherwise it sends you backwards. But let's do it. Let's do our final loop. This is it, guys. Hopefully it works. So we're on. So currently, we can't go forwards. I'm pushing W, we cannot go forward. So let's activate our redstone area. There we go, it kicks us off. So we can push a button. We're now going flying down our run. And here we are arriving at the bottom of our mine shaft. Because the redstone is off, it doesn't activate and it holds us here. We could now, for example, get out, go and do a little bit of strip mining, and then we can come back, get back in, activate our redstone button. It will send us backwards the first time. I don't know quite why it does that, but next time round you just time it, and there we go, it sends you off. It at least stops you when it holds you at the bottom of the mine shaft. Now, it's basically taking us all the way up using the powered rails as before. Works really nicely, I like it. And then you get to the top, you get flung around the little overlap circuit, sent back down, and bang, there we go, it stops you. You can get out, I can go and put my iron in the furnace, put my diamonds away, whatever it is, and then if you're ready to go again, push the button, push the gun forwards, and ooh, the circuit continues. We have a fully functioning circuit-based minecart system. Woohoo! And of course, the best thing about the whole thing is it holds the minecart, and then I can just leave it there. I don't need to have a minecart on either side. I don't have to remember to bring it back up from the bottom. It's all one continuous loop. So whenever I want to go down, I come up, come to it, and then when I come back up, it automatically deposits the minecart back at the start, ready for me wanting to go back down again. Honestly, really pleased with how that turned out. I guess the only slight flaw is that little bit at the bottom where you have to time the button push slightly correctly, but the main thing is it now stops you and holds you at the top of the run and the bottom of the run. And I suppose if there was anywhere you wanted to stop along the way, say halfway down, maybe at the XP farm entrance, it's only at the bottom, I don't think it's worth it, but you could put the same sort of button blank piece of power track, and that would stop you from going down and then enable you just to resume the journey. So we could actually add stops to this thing as well. So yeah, really pleased with it. Actually, I think for an Evo idea, that's worked really well. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching me trying to figure out redstone. It is a little bit confusing, and I'm sure that I've made mistakes, and please feel free to critique in the comments and tell me where I could improve it, but it's been really enjoyable. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and of course, subscribe. Lots more Minecraft stuff on the way.